Alive and well here on the Starship Cruise with Captain Jeffrey Starr. And we have a guest coming up. We can beam you aboard the Starship Cruise.
Jeff Starr.
Alive and well here on the Starship Cruise with Captain Jeffrey Starr. And we have a guest coming up. We can beam you aboard the Starship Cruise, or you can just sit back there and listen. 222-2600 here locally outside of the 222 area, 1-800-962-1320, toll free from Northern Rhode Island, 399-8015, 800 from anywhere in Rhode Island, 1-800-321-1320. And we are here with Bill Margold, the creator of the X-Rated Critics Organization, and as a journalist for a Southern California newspaper, William was assigned to investigate the X-rated industry. And in 1972, his investigation included starring in his first X-rated film, and he hasn't been the same since. Today, he is perhaps the X-rated industry's best-known spokesperson. He is a very popular media interview and has appeared in many radio and television programs. Earlier this week, he taped a show with Donahue, and he has now worked his way up to me. And how are you, Bill?
Fine. How are you?
Is that a good intro? I review movies here, but not usually X-rated movies. And tell me about the movie that you appeared in, the X-rated movie, and have you done any others besides that?
Well, I've appeared in about 300 of them.
What did you do in those, Bill?
Whatever your wildest dream.
Well, my dream certainly will include a man, but I mean, there are women in there, right? All kinds of...
Well, of course.
Good. Okay.
All of my work, of course, is straight heterosexual material.
That's what I wanted to, because I got a very conservative audience here politically.
No, it's straight.
Yeah.
In many cases, I try and take a character that I perform beyond the normal realm.
Okay.
Years ago, in 1974, I starred in something called Marilyn the Senator, which predated the Gary Hart scandal by about 10 or 12 years.
Right.
And in 1982, I starred as a Reverend Jerry in something called Lust Inferno, which predated the Baker Swaggart televangelist scandals by at least 45 years.
Yeah.
I was way ahead of predicting the corruption that lurks in men's souls.
Now, when you say the industry's most outspoken, albeit knowledgeable spokesperson, who are you speaking for? The X-rated industry?
I'm speaking for the X-rated industry. I also will damn as much as I praise my own business.
Okay.
Because I feel that the X-rated industry owes a great service and does not fulfill that service to society. We're supposed to primarily entertain and turn on. If we can't do either, we have no business trying.
That's right, Bill. Now, you're still appearing in X-rated movies?
Yes, I will dabble if I feel the urge.
All right. Well, whatever that urge is, the closest I came, I guess, I was in an X-rated home movie, Bill.
Oh, yes, a lot of people are nowadays.
But I don't really count that. I worked at a strip joint, an erotic exotic club for many, many years where I was the MC, and we had males and females on there.
That's very big. And now you mentioned male dancing.
Sure.
People are quick to condemn this business as using the female form, but if you're aware of male dancing, then you're aware that the coin has two tails instead of one.
Of course, and the ladies loved it, and a lot of the dancing by both the men and the women were choreographed. They had routines, costumes, which cost hundreds, thousands of dollars. They just didn't get up there and take their clothes off like at a party.
They're entertainers.
Yeah, definitely
entertainers, and essentially that was part and parcel of what the Donahue show was about. I'm not sure when it'll air in your neighborhood because it's on a delay situation. They were so pleased with the appearances that they're going to slate it during the sweeps period sometime in the week of November 17th.
Okay. Now, did you have any porno stars on with you?
Well, yes, we had a lady named Barbie, Barbii.
Okay.
We were also a married couple, a doctor, a former prostitute, a feminist, and a male dancer.
Was this a Barbie?
Donahue took a spectrum of the underbelly.
Yeah, was this like a Barbie doll? You know, one of those?
Well, she's Barbie.
Yeah.
There's also a Barbie doll.
So, Bill, you think there's a part for me in any of these movies down there, or can you maybe...
Well, it depends what the whole trick of a male getting into my business is being able to function on cue.
Oh, yeah.
If you can't get it up, you can't get in.
Well, let me tell you, Bill, I had a guy on the other day talking about people who can't get it up, and he said that garlic pills were the thing, so I just probably...
Well, unfortunately, I tried the garlic for a weight reduction situation, and the agonies concomitant with taking the garlic are not worth the injection the same.
The last woman you were with said you had a smelly penis, right?
A number of other things as well.
From the garlic pills only.
It does. It's tantamount to spewing flame.
Why are you a critic of the industry also?
Well, I'm a critic, and in fact, as you called, I was currently writing my latest 6 reviews for a magazine called Hot Talk, where I am allowed to kill, essentially. I'm the only licensed to kill critic in the entire X-rated industry because I am not held down by advertising.
Yeah, just by women, right?
Occasionally.
Yeah. Can you name some of the big porno stars you've worked with?
Well, I've discovered and worked with people like Seika.
Oh, yeah, we had Seika at our club.
Serena.
Yep.
Kelly Nichols.
No.
Pat Manning, Jennifer West, Tiffany Clark.
Tiffany Clark, yeah, we had some fun with her. She was a
Pat's
great...
one of my kids. They're all my children. You extend that in through the next generation, Bunny Blue, Renee Summers, Sherry St. Clair, Kimberly Carson, and now the lady that I live with and love very much, Viper.
Viper, okay. Did you ever go with Rhonda Jo Petty?
I've met Rhonda. Yeah. I did not discover her. I've not worked with her.
No, she was up in our area.
Well, Rhonda had a good dirty mentality, which America wanted to see.
Of course.
In fact, I just narrated a tape with Rhonda and the King, John C. Holmes, the late John C. Holmes.
Yeah.
And there's a scene in there with Rhonda and the King and something called The Angel and Mr. Holmes that is an exceptionally well-made tribute tape to the late, great King.
Papa Porno. Papa Porn. Yeah, that's what they call you.
I'm known as Papa Porn. I'm also known as the Bear. I'm also known as the Peter Pan of porn.
God created man. William Margold created himself.
That's my card. Printed in the colors of the Detroit Lions, and that's my cross to bear. Not a very good team.
They still call it the blue movie business.
Well, the blue video business. Yes, I think the blueness of the whole situation emanates from the fact that people used to watch this in smoke-filled rooms, which, of course, if you looked at the smoke through the haze, it was genuinely blue.
Yeah. Do you think the X-rated industry has advanced, let's say, in terms of quality and the types of movies being made?
I think that at one point the X-rated industry was putting out material that was quite representable to the material put out by mainstream Hollywood. But now we've digressed into the video industry where we're punching out material that's essentially a loaves of bread.
Now, does your industry still have its own Starr system?
Oh, absolutely. It has a superstar system, and Barbie is on the verge of superstardom. We have gone through a series of stars, the most recent being Barbara Dare and Amber Lynn. These are names that should be common to your listeners who are knowledgeable about porn. One of the things that video has done, of course, is brought porn into the home, which means that people don't have to admit they watch it anymore. In the old days, you had to go slinking into a theater and sit 4 rows apart and watch whatever was on the screen. Those were the good old days.
They were good old days.
Now you bring home our stuff, and the tragedy of it is that in many cases it simply puts you to sleep. I don't really want to be some America's pillow.
No. Now, do you perform sex, during these X-rated movies, you yourself?
Of course.
Do you wear a condom in there? Or?
Absolutely not. No one wants to see us wear rubbers anymore than they want to see.
Okay, nobody wants to see you, but aren't you afraid of what's going on? Yeah, I agree with that. Nobody does want to see it these days, but aren't you afraid of what's going around?
No, I'm not. The X-rated industry per capita is probably the cleanest marketplace in the world because the ladies and the men, as I told the Meese Commission when I testified in front of them, don't want to build houses with broken hammers.
Yeah, okay.
Our genitalia are our tools of trade. The ladies sanitize themselves, and the men are ultra-conscious of what they're doing.
That's what John Holmes said.
Well, John Holmes did not die of AIDS.
Oh.
Wow. Now, that's the great mistake. John Holmes had colon cancer. He was also a $1,000-a-day drug abuser. He freebased and speedballed, if you know what that is. His body was essentially a trash can, and by the time the AIDS virus got there, it claimed a corpse.
Now, would you want to see the end of any and all viewing restrictions, Bill?
Well, in adult material only. The X-Rated Critics Organization, the XRCO, and the Adult Video Association, the AVA, are vehemently opposed to any child pornography, to the extent that they've now put out a $10,000 bounty leading to the arrest and conviction of anybody who's involved with child pornography. We are also vehemently opposed to bestiality and any aberrant, violent sexuality, which, of course, runs rampant in the quote-unquote sanctified R-rated movies.
Now, do you have an address or a phone number that someone would want to reach you, and why would they want to reach you?
They can reach me for any number of reasons. I preach what is known as the gospel of X. I would like to go out and spread this gospel onto college campuses, in sexology classes, philosophy classes, psychology classes.
All right.
I am fair game for anybody who wants to know about the industry. I like to slay the dragons of ignorance. So you can take my address, which is on that card, and spread it perhaps like manure throughout your area. And also my phone number is up for grabs.
We'll spread it like semen. How's that?
Well,
what phone number
how prolific you are.
What phone number do you want to give?
The one that's on the card, area code 213-650-7121.
All right, my guest is William Margold, and has the appearance of links to organized crime hurt the industry at all, Bill?
Well, the organized crime situation is that great nebulous mystique, which, of course, the X-rated industry wallows under. And as I told the Mies Commission, little organization never hurt anybody. If you honestly believe that what's going to happen next Tuesday in America does not have a possible link to quote-unquote organized crime, then I will tell you that the Lions will be in the Super Bowl next year.
Well, isn't it true that most X-rated films are financed by the alleged underworld?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
You were answering the question before I finished it.
No.
Are you a psychic also, Bill?
Pardon?
Are you a psychic also? You answered the question before I finished
Well, the thing is, most films are financed by little tiny people attempting to make a little tiny profit. You know, they're simply not as controlled as you think they are, because this is basically a place where anybody can come in and dabble.
What makes for a successful porn film?
A successful porn film or video needs to have a beginning, middle, and end. It needs to have a reason to exist. It needs to create a heat and meat show. It also has to have superior marketing. Packaging has now become king.
Is there anything you'd want to change?
Well, I'd like to go back to the days when we were allowed to spend a little bit more time making these projects and a little bit more imagination involved in putting them together. We're not allowed that anymore because of the cheapness of the video industry.
Now, of course, you're the creator of the X-Rated Critics Organization, and is there hypocrisy, a lot of it, within the industry that you're in right now, Bill?
Well, the hypocrisy is only on the level of the establishment toward the kids, and I say that the kids are the performers in the sense that there's no one in our industry under 18 years old. We scrupulously check their identifications. The ones that do slip through the cracks, like Tracy Lords, or the predacious lady with a sexual predacity of 40 years old. She simply fooled everybody. But within this industry, there is that sort of two-edged or double-edged sword where the establishment really does not have much affection for the performers because way down deep, I believe they think they're dirty. However, they also would desire them if given half the opportunity. But as I found out, running the biggest agency in the world for over 10 years, what the kids really want is somebody to care for them. They want to be hugged rather than screwed. They do that for their profession.
Well, why do you think the porn industry has such a bad reputation, Bill?
Well, because sex in general has a bad reputation, because America is guilty when it comes to sex, and because for years and years and years, we have lived under a smokescreen of ignorance. As now, when I go out to spread the gospel of X, I can explain to the world what we do, and I answer the strangest questions literally by showing them that this industry is nothing more than another letter of the entertainment alphabet.
Let me ask you this. You mentioned before about these people as such superstars. So why wouldn't they be hired by Hollywood? I mean, don't they want the money and recognition?
The Hollywood doesn't want us. There's a puritanical situation there. They feel that once we've done X, we are tainted. However, they will come to us when they need something, and we are then put to work. They have no idea where to stick it in legitimate Hollywood. I myself was technical advisor on the film Hardcore for Paul Schrader. Pieces of my anatomy have appeared in such mainstream movies as Foul Play, Special Delivery, and the thing called Losing It.
We're going to be right back with Papa Porn here on the Jeffrey Starr Starship Cruise in just a moment. As we go back here, Bill, we have a phone call for you. If you'd like to take it, go right ahead.
Absolutely.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi. This is basically a philosophical question, I suppose, but I was interested in your opinion. Since you're obviously an expert in your chosen field, in your opinion, why are so many people uptight about porn, or at least profess to be uptight about it?
Well, what people are you speaking about? The public in general?
Well, public in general.
Well, I think externally, for the superficial view, they must admit that they must tell you they don't watch it, because if they feel as if you would condemn them for looking at something in the privacy of their own home. I think a lot of people condemn us because they don't understand us. A lot of people, when I ask questions in classrooms or on television shows, have you seen a porn movie? The people will all raise their hands, and then I specifically go after one person, and the person says, no, I didn't see one, I didn't see one. Then I get people who say, well, what you're doing is horrible, and I say, have you ever seen an X-rated movie? No. They really feel it's ignorance, and I think it's also guilt. I think that if I mention the word sex, half the audience listening to this will blush. If I mention breast, they'll blush. If I mention rear end, they'll blush. If I mention toilet, they'll blush. If I mention anything even remotely associated to adult sexuality, they'll blush, because way down deep, people feel guilty. America is an ignorant country when it comes to sex. It's a guilty country when it comes to sex. Man, I'll ask you, how did you learn about the facts of life?
How did I learn about them?
Yes.
Certainly not from my mother.
Okay, because when you asked your mother or father at the table, let's say the Thanksgiving Day table, when you said, Daddy, what's sex? He shoved a drumstick in his mouth.
You got it.
That's what it's all about.
So basically it's a matter of people being uncomfortable with their own sexuality.
Absolutely.
Uh-huh.
Bottom line, see, by your calling me, you are not as uncomfortable with your sexuality as many of the listeners now who are chattering next to their radio wondering, dare I call, because you have anonymity, but you had the courage to call.
Oh, well, it's been
And I thank you for the call, Kathy.
You're more than welcome, Jeff. Thank you.
Sugar.
Bye, sugar.
Bye-bye. This is Jeff Starr. You're on the air.
Hi, Jeff.
Go ahead, Manny.
Hey, I didn't pick up his name.
Bill Margold.
Bill Margold.
Phil?
No, Bill. William.
Bill.
William.
Okay, can you give me any reason why anybody in their right mind or have all their mental faculties would want to go see a porn movie?
Well, why anybody in their right mind wouldn't want to go see a porn movie?
No, why would you want to go there?
Why wouldn't you want to see
the thing is,
level of entertainment in this business?
That is an entertainment.
It most certainly is.
No, you know what you got there?
What do I have there?
You have a bunch of nuts, sluts, freaks, and creeps.
Do we really?
That's what you got there.
That's what you feel about your own sexuality.
Now, let me tell you something.
That's what you feel.
You know, you're the type of person...
Am I?
And the people who go and watch these porns, who sit down and masturbate, that's how they get their jollies
Are you
off.
guilty about masturbation?
You know what I mean?
Have you ever masturbated?
Well, of course I have.
Well, then how dare you condemn anybody else's right to get off?
But I was a kid at the time.
Oh, you stopped masturbating when you became a man?
But see, I'd rather go to bed and feel the flush with a woman than go and pay $6.
Good for you, but most people can't get that rather-go-to-bed mentality.
They can't? Then there's something wrong with them.
You have a pillow at home, don't you?
Huh?
You have a pillow at home.
No, I'm going to use your terminology.
What?
A hard-on on demand.
You have a hard-on on demand?
You see what I mean? In other words, why should I pay $6 to go watch somebody make love? You're the type of person that boards a woman, that hops a woman.
I deboard a woman?
No, hops a woman, hops her bones, jumps her bones, right?
What's wrong with that?
And then 3, 4, 5... No, wait a minute. 6, 7, 8 hours goes by, and then you'll make the comment in these porn movies, oh, I'll come yet. I mean, you people that make these porns make a man inferior to the average person.
Well, that's your problem if you take it
No, that isn't my...
If you take it as gospel, then you're nuts. You also believe the Rambo...
Oh, then you admit it's trash.
You must believe that Rambo wipes out entire countries. If you take these things literally, you're nuts.
Then you admit it. You're going to be crazy to go see it.
It's entertainment.
That's entertainment?
It's entertainment.
That's one step above a primate.
Emulate what we do.
You're one step above a primate.
What are you talking about? We're dealing in healthy sexual acts. You, sir, have a real sick mind when it comes to sex.
I've got a sick mind?
Really, you do.
The people you mentioned that you've gone to bed with, right? You have no love for him, right?
These are my friends. I have a serious doubt that you've ever gone to bed with a friend in your life.
You have a habit of going to bed with your friends? I have friends, but I don't go to bed with them.
You go to bed with people you hate?
That isn't what I'm saying. Would you go? Your next door neighbor's a friend of yours. You go to bed with his wife?
Well, yes, if the person.
Oh yeah. Oh, you admit that.
We're talking about sex. You take sex too seriously, sir.
I take it seriously.
Yes.
Well, of course I do, because it's people like you. It's people like you and your whatever the hell you want to call it organization. And that's what, and it is. And I'll tell you what.
It's a business. It's an entertainment industry.
It's an entertainment.
Have you ever seen an X-rated movie?
Yes, I have.
Name one.
The Stewardess.
The Stewardesses?
Yes.
That's a long time ago.
It certainly is, because I was a kid then. And you find that entertainment when a woman takes... Now, wait a minute now. When a woman takes a lamp and puts it up her vagina, you find that entertainment,
sir? Gentlemen.
You are a bum.
Can we continue this after the news?
You are one step above a primate, sir. I'd love to meet you, all right?
Hello?
Invite me over and I'll talk
Hello?
to college.
Hold on.
Hello?
Yeah.
This is your captain.
Yeah.
This is your captain, Jeffrey Starr.
Hold on, I'm not through with this guy yet.
Okay,
Good.
let's hold on, and we'll continue after the news, all right? Right now, this is Real Talk Radio, AM 1320, WARA Attleboro, with Captain Jeffrey Starr about the Starship cruise here. And we'll return with our guest, William Margold, and your calls. But right now, here's Donna.
Good afternoon. It's 58 degrees. We have mostly cloudy skies. Meteorologist John Giorsi says we'll have increasing clouds throughout the night. Temperature... Starr!
That's me. On Real Talk Radio, we have with us Bill Margold, the creator of the X-Rated Critics Organization, Papa Porn. If you'd like to participate in this interview, you know the numbers to call. You're more than welcome to do that. We're going to continue with Bill and Manny in just a moment. But first, I have a couple of commercials I've got to take care of. Hey, I should give out Bill's phone number here if you'd like to contact him. It's 213-650-7121. And we'll beam you aboard the Starship in just a moment.
Have you trouble held on layaway? Kidstown, open for your convenience every night till 9, Saturday 9 to 5, and Sunday noon to 5. It's the largest selection ever, and more keeps coming every day during the incredible Kidstown half-price toy sale. Kidstown, 21 Union Street, Attleboro.
As we go back here on the Starship cruise, continue, gentlemen. Are you there?
Yes.
Is Manny still there?
Bill, yeah, I'm still here.
No, Manny, it's rather interesting. The Stewardesses, did you see it when it was in 3D, or did you see it...
I saw it when it was in 3D.
That's 17 or 18 years ago.
That's correct.
That was not even, at that point, a hardcore movie.
It wasn't?
No.
Oh, I hadn't seen that before. I'm talking about, I thought it was kind of cross, to say the least, of somebody taking a lamp and putting it up their vagina. I don't call that entertainment.
Okay, first of all, I don't think you saw the lamp go into the vagina. I think you saw it rub around the lips of it, because we are not allowed to put, and never have been allowed to put, any unnatural objects into the woman.
Yeah.
That's not to say we don't use an occasional cucumber or carrot.
How sickening.
So what's sickening about that?
What?
Don't you think that goes on in real life?
Of course it goes on in real life.
What's wrong with it?
What's wrong with it?
Why begrudging anything between consenting adults?
Now wait a minute. What's wrong? What's wrong with putting a cucumber or a carrot up your vagina?
Well,
what's wrong with it?
Not up my vagina, but perhaps up some lady that I'm with.
Don't you find that sickening?
No, I do not.
You don't find that
rather amusing. I find it rather enjoyable if the person is allowing me to do it.
I find you to be sick, and you know what keeps you...
Why do you find me to be sick? See, that whole word sick suggests that you have a lot of guilt related to your own sexual being.
Okay, all right. Now wait a minute. You say that you don't mind. You don't think that's sick by putting a carrot or a cucumber up a woman's vagina.
No, I do not.
Why do you frown on bestiality, sir?
Because animals do not want to be there.
They don't. How do you know that?
Because I have seen the old bestiality films. A prime example is Linda Lovelace, who denies she worked with a dog. I saw the poor guilty dog.
You saw the poor guilty dog?
That's why we don't use anybody who does not give their consent to perform in these acts.
All right. Let's get by the consent stuff, because I know what that's all
about. Those preeminent Consent. Consent.
The thing is, Bill,
country predicated on consent.
What keeps you people in business is kids and freaks.
Definitely not. Definitely
kids. I was a kid when I saw it. Don't tell me the place was loaded with it.
Yes, but I'm not. You're talking about children who are in their teenage mentalities. I'm not talking about children.
That's right.
Well, teenagers have a freedom of choice. If their parents fulfilled their responsibilities, the kids wouldn't be running off doing all kinds of other things, like involving themselves in drugs.
Where's the moral factor here? I know this country hasn't got much morality left, and you add to the poison. You're poison. That's what you're doing. You're poisoning the youth. You're poisoning the people. It's a number of ways.
Poison by selection. Go outside and smell the air. There's more chemical greed
here we go.
now than pornography.
Here we go. Now you're talking apples and oranges.
No one ever died from an overdose of pornography.
Oh, they haven't?
No.
Oh.
What, do you inject the tape into your system?
What was the guy that just died from AIDS?
John Holmes did not die from AIDS. Again, your ignorance showeth.
My ignorance showeth. Well, I'll tell you what. If I'm so goddamn ignorant, right?
Yes.
When I get in bed with a woman, I'm not armed with a carrot. I'm armed with a penis, sir.
Good for you. But
if you need a carrot, you're in rough shape.
Carrot will never go down.
Hey, Bugs Bunny. You're in rough shape if you need a carrot, sir.
Go down.
Now, what happened to the statement you just made, hard on demand?
Well,
why are you using a carrot?
Well, it seems to me that you want to get into the business if you have.
Now, wait a minute. You answer the question. I'm not going to let you get away with it.
You should write for my book.
I'm not going to let you get away with it. You said hard on demand. Now you're using a carrot, sir.
Carrot is an option.
Oh, that's an option.
What's the name of the? Wait a minute. What's the name of the book?
Porn Stud Handbook Breaking into XXX.
Now, is that in a local bookstore?
No,
you won't find that in a local bookstore.
What are you laughing about? I don't think you go into local bookstores. I don't think you can read.
Oh, you don't think so, huh? Well, I can read you, sir. I can read you. I read you.
You read me how?
I read you to be one step above a primate.
Hold on,
here we go with that one step above a primate. Obviously, you have relations in a zoo now.
No. The only relationships I'm having right now is I'm having a verbal argument with a jackass.
Oh, really?
That's right. You want to match wits with me? You can't do it.
Well, bray up.
Because for one thing, you're stupid.
Bray up.
You're stupid, sir. That's what you are. And you're making a buck, and you are making a buck. I agree on that.
No. I don't do it for money.
Oh, you don't do it for money?
No, I do not.
Oh, what do you do it for?
I do it for
because you're a kinky. For what?
Immortality.
You're going to live forever?
No, but the images that I am creating will. I am a piece of history. That's more than I can say for you. Although if you've taped this conversation, you now at least will have the chance.
You're a piece of what?
In your own empty mind.
You're a piece of what?
A piece of immortality.
My God, you don't even know what your women are nothing but a bunch of pieces. There's nothing but a bunch of meat.
That's what you think, because you have a low opinion of women.
I have a very high opinion of a lady.
Mr. Hard-On Demand must really hate women. You've never mentioned the female counterpart. It's just your Hard-On Demand.
Well, that's what you said.
So sad.
I'm only repeating what you said.
We hold the women in great esteem in our business.
I know. I can tell. You must use specially selected carrots and cucumbers.
That's in one of many different situations in this business, giving a person an option.
Will you call that love?
I call it fun.
You call it fun.
Sex and love have nothing to do with each other.
Gentlemen, we are going to have to break up this relationship right now.
Okay, all right. I'll give you the final statement, but I'm telling you, if I met you, sir... Now, wait a minute. I'm going to let you talk. If I met you, you might be a stud right now, but you'd be a gelding after I get through with you.
Thank you for the call.
Bye-bye.
Appreciate it. We'll be back with Bill Margold here with Jeffrey Starr on the sitting. You're on the air with my guest, Bill Margold.
Yes. Hello?
Hello?
Yes.
Is it me?
Yeah, go right ahead, my dear.
Yeah, my dear. I was so upset when I first called and you leave me sitting on the phone for about 5 minutes.
Better than sitting,
what I wanted to say.
Better than sitting on a dildo.
That's right.
What are you upset about?
What am I upset about? Where's the intimacy in this?
But
there's no intimacy in it.
This is entertainment.
Entertainment. You're screwing up the minds of the kids. They think this is the way it's supposed to be.
No, they do not.
Oh, come on.
You really believe...
I could never go out with somebody my own age because I'd be hanging from the ceiling.
That's ridiculous.
Oh, yeah?
That's ridiculous.
I don't think so.
Do you believe when you go to see Die Hard, that they really blew up a building in Century City?
I don't go watch that kind of stuff.
Well, what do you watch?
I watch love movies.
What love movies?
I watch comedies so I can laugh once in a while. Instead of watching all this garbage.
One of the classic comedies of all time was Mad, 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 Mad World. Do you really believe
I never went to see that because I thought it was garbage. I thought it was garbage.
Well,
it's messing up all the kids.
You know, it sounds like you have a very cloistered life. That's sort of sad.
Not for me, it isn't. Not for my lifestyle, it isn't.
Don't begrudge people their right to be entertained.
Entertained.
This is not... They don't believe this. They get off behind it.
I don't think so.
Have you ever seen...
I think they try and pull some of this shit.
Have you ever seen an X-rated movie?
Yes, I have.
Name it, please.
Deep Throat.
Okay, now we're talking about the classic. Did you then run home and try and deep throat your partner?
No.
Okay.
No, I didn't. But I'm a little bit older than what these teenagers are.
Well, but the teenagers don't want to be bothered with us. They want to do it in real life. They don't care about watching it. They do it.
They watch it, and then they try and pull this shit.
Do you have children?
Yes, I do.
Okay. How do you know they haven't seen this material?
I don't think my...
Why don't you ask them and ask them what they think about it before you condemn them for watching it?
I don't think I'm going to let my 10-year-old daughter watch that garbage.
Well, I'm talking about children in their teens. I'm talking about kids who would sooner put their 25 cents or 50 cents into video game machines than watch the stuff I put out. They can do it in the back seat of a car or behind the gymnasium.
But they're learning intimacy between the two of them. They're not learning how to shove a carrot up somebody.
We're not going to teach that. We're just showing an alternative situation.
Oh, alternative.
Alternative.
But that doesn't bring up intimacy. That is wild, kinky shit.
With intimacy. Intimacy is for the home. We're for the entertainment. We're for the masturbation of the mind.
Well, we're going to have to go to the news, but thank you for the call.
Okay.
I appreciate it. On Real Talk Radio, help of Dr. Ruth of WARA. Well, I should say the male Dr. Ruth of WARA. The Benny Hill of the local talk shows. And the man that has always said it's not the meat, but the motion. Then we have with us William Margold, the creator of the X-Rated Critics Organization. I do want to mention that his book is only available by the mail, apparently, and I'm talking about MAIL. And we're going to discuss his book, The Porn Stud Handbook, in just a moment, also pornography. And you are welcome to participate. The numbers here locally are 222-2600. Outside of the 222 area, 1-800-962-1320. From Northern Rhode Island, 399-8015. And our brand new 800 number, 1-800-321-1320. Let those 800 lines ring, and we'll be right with you. And Bill is waiting for you with his dildo.
This past week, that's with the rebroadcast of the Triborough News. Ron Straminski's rebroadcast coming up at 7, and we close off the evening at 8 with Real Estate Update with host Jeff Starr. All tonight, ICTV, Channel 8 Attleboro.
Well, thank you. That's me as we get back to William Margold. You mentioned the book is only available via the mail?
Yes, it's a textbook, very easy to read, and it's available only through the mail at this point. It's being promoted heavily in all of the adult publications now because all of the adult publications are members of the XRCO.
And the XRCO is X-Rated Critics Organization. Do you have an address? Maybe they could write directly if they are so...
Yes, they're to send cash or money order, no checks, because this is something that is definitely a cash and carry situation, to 8231 DeLongpre. It's capital DELONGPRE Avenue, number 1, West Hollywood 90046. And of course, if anybody sends hate letters to me, I will publish them in the Hollywood Press, which is a weekly newspaper, the biggest underground newspaper in America, with a circulation well over 100,000 a week.
And what's in that usually? What's that about?
There are a lot of things in the Hollywood press.
Now, you write for them?
I've been writing for them for 16 years.
Oh, that's super. Maybe you could, along with that other thing we discussed.
I'll send you a copy.
Okay, great. Okay. Now, this is the Porn Stud Handbook. What is it all about, really, Bill?
What it is based on the many, many years of experience that I've had in the business, numbers of letters that I've received. I've now answered the questions in a book, which deals with size, stability, reasons for getting into the business, reasons for not getting into the business.
What do you mean by size? Are you talking about sex organs or
yes.
the size? Oh.
It ain't going to do a performer much good if he has a cocktail sausage.
But isn't the main thing as long as it's hard? Because doesn't the...
No, because...
But I always read once biologically that it doesn't really matter the size of the penis because the woman adjusts.
Well, but that has nothing to do with the camera adjusting.
Oh, okay, the camera you're talking about, okay.
The woman may well adjust, and the man may disappear inside, but if the camera can't see it, it's not doing the man's career much good.
So it's got to be big.
Well, it doesn't have to be big, it has to be big proportionate to the body.
Oh, okay. So
I'm sure, and this might, well, I can't get into the Doug Flutie situation, but let's say if Doug Flutie came into our business and was well endowed, it would be enormous.
Yeah, proportionately.
Absolutely.
Okay, let me see if we have another call here for you. Hi, this is Jeffrey, and going to beam you aboard the Starship.
Oh, thank you, Jeffrey.
Go right ahead.
I'd like to ask Mr. Margot what he thinks of the movie rating system, and do you think it's important that a movie be advertised as X-rated, or would you like to see that system go?
No, I think it's definitely important that the rating system be in use. I believe that Valenti, who helped create that rating system, was also instrumental in helping maintain the X-rated situation because there's a separation point. Now, many R-rated movies that you go to see should perhaps get an X rating for, if not language, then violence, or even perhaps display of sexuality. But the X rating that we have is not an X rating that is sanctioned by the Motion Picture Association.
Right,
quite frankly, our X rating should be XXX. And I'm firmly in favor of keeping the X rating as it is in our area, because you have to know what you're getting when you come into it. There are no surprises. There is no real, quite frankly, there's no more shock value either, because the X-rated industry now, censored from within, is basically rather ordinary. Have you ever seen an X-rated movie? Hardcore X-rated movie.
I don't think so.
Would you like to be in one?
No.
Oh.
Okay. But a hardcore X-rated movie is defined by something getting up, going in, coming out, and going off.
So you feel as though that the people you want to come see your movies ought to be people who have decided up front that they want to see a porn film.
Absolutely.
I see.
Freedom of choice.
Yeah, I understand that. Okay. Well, I was just, wondering. I've heard the argument made that a person who likes to go to the movies and appreciates art for art, should just be going to the movie for the experience of the movie, whatever it contains. I was just interested in your opinion.
Well, they should know what they're getting, because I don't want to shock anybody. I don't mind surprising them, but I don't want to shock them. They have to know they're seeing an ad. It says adults only in the ads. That there are a couple, I don't know if you're aware of the fact, but under the Motion Picture Association's rating of X, an Oscar-winning film called Midnight Cowboy.
Yes, I have seen that X-rated movie.
Now that, without a single cut, was dropped to an R. However, the Last Tango in Paris remains X for strange reasons. And the reasons are not so much the sexuality, but I think more of the political sociology of the movie. It's a strange, thought-provoking movie.
Yeah.
But now there's an R-rated movie called 1900 by the same Bertolucci, who won the Oscar for directing Last Emperor, where a prostitute masturbates two men on camera. Now that is closer to my area, but that's an R rating. It's very strange how those ratings are given.
So the movies that you...
the ones I do are the real thing.
Right, I understand that, but they're not rated by the same system?
Oh, absolutely not.
Okay.
There are R-rated versions, and we pay $800 to $1,200 to get an X-rated movie from my industry cut down to an acceptable R.
Mm-hmm.
And then you go and see these movies virtually without genitalia.
Mm-hmm.
And I have many times been accused of having no genitalia after people watch me on Playboy Channel.
Well, that's true of a lot of movies that get rated by the rating system.
That's true. They go in and hack them up. They emasculate the movies. A prime example, I don't want to spend too much time on this, but there was a great X-rated by the Motion Picture Association movie, or self-rated X, movie called The Street Fighter with Sonny Chiba. The movie could not show in mainstream theaters because mainstream theaters will not show X-rated movies.
Mm-hmm.
So they took the movie back and they emasculated the movie into an R which made no sense.
Mm-hmm.
And I called up the producer of the movie and he cried over the phone, "They have killed my child."
Mm-hmm.
And that's very sad.
Okay,
no
well,
one
thank
in
you.
the real world should be given that kind of power. That's ridiculous.
Thanks for the call.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Here on Real Talk Radio, this is Jeffrey Starr. And do you think that the industry has peaked, Bill, your industry?
Yes, to a certain extent. I think there will always be an oddity in society, and there'll always be a new generation of people who want to peek under the skirt, so to speak. But I think it has peaked thanks, or no thanks, to the video wave. You can now go and get us anywhere virtually, and we have become tragically common.
Right. We're going to be right back with Bill, but right now we're going to have a lady who is a former Miss Massachusetts and Mrs. Massachusetts and Fannie Mae's favorite young little girl, Rena Starr Gordon, and we wish her get well.
Right now you can apply for Homeline, Hospital Trust home equity line of credit at absolutely no cost. And how you use it is totally up to you. Apply for Homeline at any Hospital Trust branch today.
We are back at the Starship Cruise with the author of the Porn Stud Handbook, William Margold, and you're back. We're beaming you aboard. You can speak with Bill right now. Go right ahead. Thanks for waiting.
Hi, Bill.
Hello.
First of all, I want to say I support your right to make these type of movies.
Thank you.
I think it's everybody's right to be able to make them and to sell them. But I think that we have to have the strict laws that we do as far as juveniles.
Oh, absolutely.
And I defend that right.
Oh, yes, and so do we. And if you want to make a quick $10,000, find somebody who's making child pornography, and the AVA will give you $10,000.
All right. Okay, but I want to say a few things. That I don't usually see a lot of X-rated movies because, first of all, in order for me to get turned on, I need to see passion. And I'm not seeing much passion in the X-rated movies.
A few of them have been able to create passion, a rare few. Have you ever seen a film called Every Woman Has a Fantasy?
No.
That is a beautiful movie.
Okay,
Recently, in fact, the XRCL will be honoring a tape, I believe, called Not Addicted to Love, Portrait of an Affair, which really has the most painful investigation of a human relationship I've ever seen in the X-rated industry. Occasionally we tap into the soul if the time and place are right.
Right. Okay.
But yes, passion, for the most part, is missing. However, even I, in certain tapes, have been able to create, or videos and films, have created certain amounts of passion depending on the circumstances. In Maryland, the Senator, because I was very much in love at the moment with the woman I was working with, a woman named Diana St. Clair, the gentleman turned on the cameras and walked out of the room, and for 6 hours I think we created passion. Raw passion, which is then edited into 2 sex scenes.
Oh, wow.
There are moments when this business rises above itself and really ignites.
See, that's what I like to see more of, is more passion. And also I did see one very good X-rated movie, and that was Caligula.
Well, Caligula is a rare X-rated movie. First of all, it cost $17 million. Wow. And secondarily, it doesn't really qualify as hardcore X in the full term because there's no male-female penetration.
No, it had a plot,
If you remember, the only hardcore in that movie, if I'm not mistaken, is lesbian. And there's a definition that really the lesbian hardcore is nowhere near as, quote-unquote, incriminating or as hard as male-female penetration. But yes, Caligula is a very special movie.
It was.
It got its X for violence, not for sex. If you remember the tremendous amount of gore in that movie, the stomachs being ripped open and the beheadings, that's a repellent little movie.
But I think it tried to depict as it was back then, I think.
And I suspect that it was very much like that.
And that's why I applauded that movie. But anyways, I just want to call and say...
Well, thank you for the call.
You're right.
Appreciate it.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. On Real Talk Radio, we appreciate your call and you listening. Bill, do you think that the first mainstream film with a major actor that gets an X rating will make a lot of money?
Well, as I said, Marlon Brando received an X rating for Last Tango in Paris. Dustin Hoffman and John Voight received X ratings for Midnight Cowboy. What you're talking about is the first female, not male, because they're not going to really pay to see the male. The first female to go all the way on camera. Now... Yeah,
that would be nice.
Well, it would be nice, but who would you like to see?
Who would I like to see go all the way on camera? Well, probably my favorite actress, and that's Deborah Winger.
Deborah Winger has the mentality, if the property is right, one day to probably do that. Jessica Lange, in a movie that's just coming out called Everybody's All-American, is magnificent. Is magnificent. She is so erotic and so sensual and so perceptibly Southern belle. This will turn on even the dead. And, of course,
I like that. It will turn on even the dead.
Yes. What about...
I've been known to do that. My news director says that I can do that.
What about Kathleen Turner in Body Heat?
Yeah.
Think about that. Now there...
I am.
See, the thing is, the legitimate world occasionally can, because it has the time, create more heat than we can create.
Yeah.
They just don't know how to stick it because... or where to stick it, because at this point, if somebody did that, they'd be held in jeopardy.
All right, we're going to hold you, not literally, of course, but on hold.
Oh, you're welcome to.
I'm straight. I don't know about you,
That has nothing to do with that. Have you ever hugged somebody on the football field?
Oh, that's fine, sure.
Good.
Sure. Even in the locker room?
No, I never did that.
Oh, okay. This is Real Talk Radio, AM 1320 WARA Attleboro on the Starship Cruise. Captain Jeffrey Starr. We'll be right back, but right now, it's 5:30. Book the Porn Stud Handbook. Read that carefully, I'll tell you. Hello, we're beaming you aboard the Starship Cruise right now.
Oh, that's great.
Who's this?
Gee, I don't know. Can you guess?
Sounds like Lisa Jean.
Yep.
Is that your middle name?
Yeah.
How did I know? You told me. How you doing?
Good. You know, when I was up there, I couldn't believe it. You look too perfect, Jeff.
Well, yeah, we want to mention that Lisa did come up to meet me personally today, and it certainly was a thrill for both of us. What do you mean I look too perfect?
You're too perfect, Jeff. You don't look real. But you know,
I am real.
I know you are real. You hugged me. Yes. You know.
Well, you hugged me.